In this video we are going to be looking at a range of ultrasonic wind sensors, and I'm joined by David Ellis from Marine Components International, who are the UK distributor of Calypso instruments.
Absolutely.
So David, we've got three devices here. Can you just talk us through the differences between these three?
Yes, surely. First of all, I'll run through a bit about what ultrasonic technology actually is. So ultrasonic technology uses some transducer discs, 4 of them, sending sound waves backwards and forwards. And any distortion in those sound waves is what's calculating wind speed and direction. So as the wind flows across and changes it, that's what's giving the wind speed and direction. The advantage of that technology is there's no moving parts, no ball bearings, no cups, no vanes, nothing to snag, break or wear over time. The three Calypso devices break down into 2 variants. There are 2 wireless devices and 1 wired device. The wireless devices communicate by Bluetooth to a smart device, whether that's Android or iOS Apple. One of the Bluetooth devices is battery charged and one is solar charged, so it will continuously charge. The battery charged one has 150 hours of continuous use. You can also take both of these devices into the NEMA gateway from Calypso and then on to a NEMA 2000 network, so you can view it on your NEMA 2000 chart plotter, as is being shown here on the Raymarine Axiom. The third device is a wired device, and this simply wires directly in to the NEMA backbone and chart plotter, giving NEMA 2000 data directly to the chart plotter, in this case the Raymarine Axiom, as I said earlier. You simply select the wind device within the Raymarine Axiom and it will come up with the data. From here we will then look at a bit more detail on each of these devices.
So David, we've got 3 devices, we've seen how they operate. Where would you use these devices?
That's a good question, Lee, and these 3 devices have various uses. The Bluetooth devices break down mainly into 2 areas. The battery powered one you see here has 150 hours of charge in one use, and that's being used by race committees, race officers, it's being used by mark layers, coaches, and even people teaching sailing at centres for health and safety reasons. You literally can take the data from there, as I said, into the smart device, record it, log it, and download it into Excel for later use. The solar powered one is more for small boats and day sailors where people do not want wires coming down the mast, and they're using that to Bluetooth directly to the Calypso gateway and then on to the smart device if they wish, or directly into the Raymarine Axiom as well. So these 2 are wireless uses, and then this one, the wired use. So this is more for permanent fitting, maybe into a long-term cruising yacht or a racing yacht where they have wires down the mast already and they have a NEMA 2000 backbone on the boat, and they simply are wiring it directly into that.
So David, we've looked at how they work, who's going to use them. Let's take a look at the Mini first in a little bit more detail. How do you actually charge the thing?
Okay, so the Mini is done by induction charging. You simply take the sensor, put it upside down on this charge pad here, which has a USB cable that directly connects to your power supply or your laptop, whatever, and that will charge it directly into there.
And then how long would that take to charge from 0 to...
It takes about 5 hours to fully charge. Right. And that gives you 150 hours of continuous run time. So if it is not used, it will store that power. So that is 150 hours of continuous use.
So we've looked at the Mini. How do you connect this to an app? Is there a free app or?
Yeah, there is. There's a free app from Calypso that you'll find on App Store, both iOS and Android. It's called Anemio Tracker. But if you find it, just put Calypso in, it will pop up. And you'll see the little symbol here on my iPad display. You press that and then you literally go into here and ask it to pair, and it will pair with a device, okay? And you'll eventually pair up, and then you'll see the data coming through.
So you've got apparent wind angle, true wind angle, apparent wind speed and true wind speed. That's all coming from this device?
Yes and no. Lee.
Okay.
The device has obviously got these 4 transducers that's taking the wind speed and direction, but the calculation for direction is being done within the smart device or the chart plotter using the GPS within there. Okay, the direction is not done from the sensor itself. There is, however, a notch on the sensor which you point towards the bow of the boat, and that is its reference pointing. Right. So it knows where its datum is, and the smart device is calculating the direction from that datum point.
And this app, can you log wind data?
Absolutely you can. You can record data onto there, and you can download it onto CSV Excel file format for later use. And a lot of coaches do that. They are looking when they're going out with the sailors they're coaching or teaching, and they're looking at the wind speed and direction. And also race management teams are doing that as well. For interest afterwards, they're putting it up next to the race results so people can see maybe where they missed a shift and lost places or gained places.
So I noticed this has a little screw thread. Is that a standard camera mount?
Yes.
Thread?
Yes, it is, Lee. It's a standard camera thread mount. So any monopod or tripod camera thread, you can screw it onto there. There's also a specific mast mount that does come with this device that has the nut that goes directly into there as well. So you can fix that onto a top of a mast, a dinghy, or a pole if you're using it for temporarily.
David, moving on to the portable. It's got a solar panel in, and it's got a thread. How does that mount, and how would you mount that on a boat?
Okay, so yes, this is a solar powered device. There's a battery in there as well, so it's continuously charging the battery in daylight, and you'll get 30 days of use from one charge. And the way it mounts is there's a few options with this device. You have a 1 metre or a 33 centimetre mast in either carbon fibre or aluminium, as you see here. And the device simply screws into the top here. Okay, and then obviously remember to point the notch directly to the bow. And then this can be mounted on any standard VHF aerial mount, the mast. So effectively here I've got a straight vertical, but obviously there are 90 degrees or L-shaped ones on the market, and that just simply screws in.
That looks like a standard GPS VHF.
Yeah, any VHF aerial mount will fix it, so you can mount it on the side of the mast or top of the mast, as you see there. And then the other option it comes with is a little L-shaped mast mount bracket, which can get on the side of the mast or on the top of the mast, and there's a plastic nut bolt that goes with that to go straight into the top of the sensor. And that's pretty much how you can mount them.
So David, there's a NEMA Connect Plus gateway here, and you can connect the portable wirelessly to this, and this converts to NMEA 2000.
Correct.
How does that work? What do you have to do to configure it? Is there anything complicated about configuring it? No,
not at all. These two devices here can be bought individually, but we also sell them already paired in a box, which I think is how Force 4 are actually selling the devices.
Right, yep.
So there's no configuration to do between these two whatsoever. You simply get the devices out of the box, you'd mount that at the top of the mast within about 30 metres of the gateway itself, and then the gateway wires directly into your NEMA backbone, okay? And that can deliver it to your display on the network, your NEMA 2000 display on the network.
So it's all pre-configured?
It's all pre-configured.
Out of the box, ready to go?
Out of the box, ready to go. The really good thing about the gateway as well is once it's Bluetooth to here and then is wired into the backbone to deliver it to the Axiom display in this case, it can also still have Bluetooth out of here, so you can still view it directly on your smart device at the same time as you're viewing it on the NEMA 2000 display.
Okay, moving on to the third device, which is the wired device. You don't need a gateway for that. It's direct into the NEMA 2000 backbone.
Yeah, this is really devised for permanent install onto larger boats, cruising yachts or racing yachts, where they already have wires down the mast and a NEMA backbone in place, a NEMA 2000 backbone in place. So you simply wire this directly in using the cable supplied to the backbone. And your NEMA 2000 device, in this case the Raymarine Axiom, will automatically pick that up. You just need to select the wind device from the menu within the Raymarine Axiom itself, but it'd be the same with a B&G or a Garmin or any other NEMA 2000 device out there.
Okay, so what mounting options have we got for the wired device?
So there are a few mounting options for the wired device. There's an L-shaped mast bracket that can either sit on the side or on top of the mast, and the sensor bolts directly to the top of the unit, and the bolts and screws come with the sensor in the box already. There's also, you can use the standard aluminium or carbon fibre mast with a little mast adapter plate that goes on, with a nut that goes over the top, and then that bolts onto the top of that. So you've got that option as well.
So we've connected the wired up via a NEMA 2000 network to the Raymarine Axiom, and we've just got a wind display up. We're going to simulate a bit of wind with a fan and just show you the operation.
So hopefully you can see here average wind angle and average wind speed coming through, the angle being recorded in the middle. Obviously you can change these around, so you could have speed in the middle if you wanted to, etc. You won't be seeing any true wind angle or true wind speed data coming through because we're obviously not moving with a heading on the boat at the moment. We're in a stationary situation with nothing directed on it. So that's there showing you, if I move it around, how it moves the angles around instantaneously. So it's updating every second continuously. Okay.
A common question we have with these is accuracy wise. How do they compare with a standard wind vane?
So they're incredibly accurate, and that's one of the benefits of them. And also their accuracy is consistent over a long period of their lifetime. So because ball bearings wear with age and can seize or grind, they tend to get less accurate with time. Solid state ultrasonic wind sensors do not. So you've got a plus or minus 1 degree on direction accuracy and 0.1 meter per second accuracy on the sensor itself. So it's incredibly accurate.
Okay. And then in terms of calibration, there's no calibration required. It's just off you go.
They come pre-calibrated out of the factory, and they're tested for a wind tunnel in the factory itself. So they come out all calibrated.
Yeah. So there's nothing to degrade over time? There's nothing.
That's the beauty of ultrasonic technology. There's nothing to degrade over time.
Thank you very much, David, for coming in and explaining how these ultrasonic wind sensors work. They look like a great proposition if you're thinking about changing your wind sensor or upgrading to an ultrasonic sensor. Thanks for your time.
No, thank you, Lee, and I look forward to selling loads through Force 4. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.